So let's talk about what is happening at the airports. So if you live in the United States and you are traveling this week, you may notice that the TSA lines are unbelievably long. And that is because right now, Senate Republicans have been blocking bills to fund TSA. They only want to fund Homeland, they only want to fund ICE. And it's crazy because they're like, we have no money to fund TSA, but we have so much money to fund ICE, who we will have do the job of TSA. So they have installed TSA at airports, and this is gearing up to do this at upcoming elections. They are planning to have ICE agents at elections intimidating and harassing people. Because remember, this is not about finding criminals. This is not about finding bad guys. We know that's true. This is a plan that is being put in place right now that is not just to like deliver on these false promises to their voters of getting criminals out of the country by going after families and normal people, but to use ICE to win upcoming upcoming elections. Today, Trump said that voter ID is a DHS issue. Yeah, they want to bully and harass and scare and intimidate people from coming to the polls.
Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, if the radical left Democrats don't immediately sign an agreement to let our country, in particular our airports, be free and safe again, I will move our brilliant and patriotic ICE agents to the airports where they will do security like no one has ever seen before. Now, in a subsequent post, he said that he instructed ICE agents.
I actually covered this before, but yeah, Paolo Zampoli, who's connected to Epstein, Paolo Zampoli asked ICE to detain the mother of his child. He's a longtime Trump ally. He's a former modeling agent connected to Epstein. Yeah, this was a custody fight. He was in a custody battle over his son. Yeah.
To be ready by Monday. And now the president is saying that you, sir, are going to be in charge. How is that going to work? Are ICE agents going to move into American airports starting tomorrow, Monday?
Yes. And I'm currently working on the plan now of execution, working with the director of ICE and the administrator at TSA, the acting administrator. So we'll put together a plan today and we'll execute tomorrow.
Okay, so there are a lot of questions here. First of all, are ICE agents even remotely trained?
Working on a plan less than 24 hours out. Mind you, TSA officers have to spend months learning how to be trained in aviation security. They have to get certified in it. So you learn to detect weapons and explosives and I'm not saying that TSA is perfect by any means, obviously not, but this is just fucking laughable that he's like, yeah, 24 hours out, don't worry, we're coming up with our plan. ICE will just take over for TSA.
To handle security at airports?
Why does he look like a corpse? Because he's dead inside.
I receive a high level of training. And, you know, the ICE agents are assigned at many airports across the country already. They do a lot of criminal investigation on smuggling at airports.
No, but, that's not the same thing.
There's got TSA agents covering exits, people that enter through the exits. Certainly a highly trained ICE law enforcement officer can cover an exit.
He looks like a can-cam.
Exits. entering the airport through the exits, and that stuff like that relieves that TSA officer to go to screening and to reduce those lines. So wherever we can provide extra security, I don't see an ICE agent looking at an X-ray machine because they're not trained in that. But there are certain parts of security that TSA is doing that we can move them off those jobs and put them in the specialized jobs to help move those lines.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. So what you're saying is when you move ICE into airports, they are going to be just around the exits and the exteriors. They're not going to be helping people get through the lines and screening people's bags.
Those discussions are going on now. I'm not expert at TSA, so that's why I'm talking to the TSA administrator and the ICE director to find out where we can fit in. We'll have a plan by the end of today where we're sending what airports we're starting with.
Oh,
and
my God.
But that's a discussion.
So, yeah. Clown show. They're just making shit up as they go along.
Yep. I ended the discussion to do the show, and I'll be back having those discussions when I finish. So it's a work in progress, but we will be at the airports tomorrow helping TSA move those lines along.
And I know you said it's a work in progress, but at least at the beginning, are there specific airports that you're thinking about starting with? And how many ICE agents are you considering deploying to do this?
Again, that's going based on discussions we're having today. I think we need to, my opinion is that we concentrate on the airports where the longest waits are. We prioritize those. The large airports where there's a long wait, like 3 hours. I think we got to prioritize what we do like we do everything else. So again, having those discussions, continued discussions after the show with the leadership.
Your uncle, who you're flying out with tomorrow, said he wants to tip ICE and shake their hands. Maybe you should maybe you should confuse your uncle a bit and he ends up on the wrong flight and he ends up in, I don't know, friggin' Antarctica
those
or
agencies
something.
will lead us to some decisions based on
uncle.
prioritization, where we deploy, how quick we deploy, how many agents we deploy. So hopefully we'll have all those answers here by this afternoon, but we're working on it, and when we deploy tomorrow, we'll have a well thought out plan to execute.
With respect, if you're doing this in 24 hours, how well thought out could it possibly be?
Again, ICE has been at airports across the country for a long time. It's just expanding those things. Look, how much of a plan does it mean to guard an exit to make sure no one comes through that exit?
And
I mean, we're talking about security options, and these officers are well trained in security, and they're well trained in identification. And look, we're going to do what we can to help TSA move those people through the line.
And
my God,
last question
dude.
on this, because this is important, and I realize that this is clearly a plane that you're creating while it's in the air here, but this is
truly pulling shit out of your ass.
A lot of people are asking, is it just going to be crowd control, or will ICE officers also be doing immigration enforcement while they are at the airports?
We do immigration enforcement at airports all the time, so is that going to change? It's not going to change. This is about helping the men and women at TSA.
The men and women at TSA who, mind you, have been working without pay for over a month. Helping the men and women at TSA who Trump and the Republicans are refusing to fund. And so they are working without pay because Congress is still deadlocked over funding for Homeland. Because all that Trump and his allies want is unlimited money for ICE. He is like having ICE, as we said, as his personal Gestapo, as his personal bodyguards, his personal, KKK, his personal Klan. This is literally shit from a butt.
Well, several hundred employees. The lines are really slow because of the shutdown. This is about going to helping TSA do their mission and get the American public through that airport as quick as they can. Well, while adhering to all the security guidelines and the protocols, we're simply there to help TSA do their job in areas that don't need their specialized expertise, such as screening through the X-ray machine. Not training that, we won't do that.
Trump has also said he's going to deploy the National Guard if ICE at the airports is not enough. Oh, cool. Great.
But there are rules we can
cool.
play to release TSA officers from the non-significant roles, such as guarding an exit, so they can get back to the scanning machines and move people quicker. And we're just simply helping our fellow officers at TSA.
I'm going to bring in my panel now to respond to that. Welcome, one and all.
Also, I'm like, didn't we just give ICE billions? Record amount of billions last year. Why are we always constantly giving them money? I swear to God, every time it's like, oh, what's happening? What's happening with Congress? What's happening with, what are they fighting over this time? It's like more money for ICE, more money for Israel.
Congressman Kiley, I should say the last
more money
time
to bomb Iran. More money for the Pentagon.
Then you've switched your party affiliation to independent as you try to work through the redistricting in your home state of California. What do you think about the idea of sending ICE to airports?
Well, the lines that people are having to deal with are a problem, a big problem. And so, anything we can do to make travel a little more seamless right now, I think is fine. But that is a very temporary and not ideal solution. What we need to do is fund the Department of Homeland Security. That'll get our TSA agents paid. That'll get our Coast Guard paid. That'll get FEMA funded. And we can do this in a way that reaches a bipartisan compromise around this issue related to ICE. I think there are common sense
Which basically means hella fucking money for ICE. As much money. There's not enough billions. There's not enough billions that were granted last year. There's not enough billions that can be granted now.
That both sides can support, but having an unfunded Department of Homeland Security at a moment when we have this heightened threat environment in the United States, it is absolutely unacceptable, and it is such a...
I don't know, man. What's the heightened threat environment? Where's that coming from? Why is there a heightened threat environment that we would need to fund DHS? It's like I slap someone in the face and I go, damn, what a heightened threat environment. Give me more money to deal with this heightened threat environment, which means I can just slap more people.
Clear example of how Congress is broken in so many ways.
Congresswoman Dingell?
Well, I agree with you that Congress is broken, but here is the fact of the matter. I have a lot of questions about what he said. Are they going to be wearing masks? What are the functions that they're going to be performing? Are they going to make it more complicated? Are people going to be more scared? Are they going to threaten people? Are people going to start to see people not even willing to travel because they're intimidated by them?
Already
Here's
happening.
the reality. We could settle this tomorrow and fund TSA, FEMA, which, by the way, got gutted a year ago, not in this funding of Homeland Security.
It's already happening.
And fund
I appreciate that at least on this panel she's asking these questions, but yes, this is
Coast Guard
literally
and
happening.
deal with the ICE issue, which has to be dealt with front and center.
Yeah, look, I think I associate myself with the gentleman's from California's comments, right?
God,
I think
this
he's spot
guy.
on. Look, Congresswoman, Tom Homan was up on the Hill negotiating, trying to get this.
These guys all look the same. All look like canned ham. Toes, all looking like thumb solidarity.
Bill passed in the Senate. You've seen the White House give on lots of things, cameras, identification on ICE. The White House is given and given and given. The fact of the matter is, Chuck Schumer
They got the thumb
is just
build.
a chicken shit. I'll say it because he's concerned that he's not going to be the majority leader. Doesn't want to pass anything that doesn't just blow up ICE. And so that's why we're stuck here. It's not,
oh my God. I'm sorry. Do not make Chuck Schumer sound that cool. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Chuck Schumer and the words blow up ICE. Now hold on a second. We talking about the same Chuck Schumer? Did Chuck Schumer have like the reverse John Fetterman? Where now like he had a stroke and now he's unbelievably based? Chuck Schumer is going to blow up ICE. Literally.
Anything to do. Everybody knows what has to be done. Chuck Schumer won't allow it to be done in the Senate. And that's where we are. American people, call the Senate, complain to Chuck Surprise, tell him to pass the bill now.
That's not
100% true. 100% accurate.
Called Schumer a Palestinian again today.
with the Congresswoman. Surprise, surprise. Look, in what world do you think it's really a good idea for ICE to be at airports? In what world
None.
do you think the American public actually want that when they have seen how ICE has behaved in cities?
Nobody wants that because guess what? going to the airport already sucks. Okay. I don't with the exception of Austin's show and maybe two of you in here, no one likes to travel. Okay. Traveling is exhausting because of all these, already the issue of the airline monopoly, the cost of traveling, the reduction in quality, flights getting canceled. If you're on Spirit Airlines, they'll waterboard you. Like, it already is not super fun for a lot of people. Okay. I am not a person who likes to travel. I do not like airports. I do not like to travel. It's just, you're sweaty and tired. And for a lot of people, it's not enjoyable. And now you throw ICE in there. And now you throw ICE in there who are rabid fucking dogs. So not only the reality that they will be throwing people to the ground brutally. Where is the one video? Did I save? Where is this video that ICE agents helping TSA at airports across the country this morning? Where I think it is. Yeah, here.
What are you doing? Leave her alone! Fucking what are you doing? Leave her alone! What the hell are you doing?
I hope you're so fucking proud of yourselves, you fucking assholes. You're on video now, too. Yeah. Shame on you. You fucking un-American pieces of shit. Fuck you.
Leave her alone! Fucking what are you doing?
What's your name? Show the badge. Where's the badge?
This is at SFO.
Where's your badge? Can someone call 911? Okay. Where's your badge? Can I see? Let me see your badge.
These guys are in hoodies and jeans. These guys are in hoodies and jeans. And it, by all accounts, looks like they're just brutally kidnapping people, which they are. But especially with the hoodie and jean look.
Okay. No, can I see your badge? I don't know if that's legitimate.
She was traveling with a little girl who was watching all this happen too. Yeah.
Can I see your badge number, sir? What is your name? What?
Yeah, it's just.
What is your name?
It's horrifying.
Number?
It's a nightmare.
I'm asking for your badge number, sir. What is your badge number? What is your badge number? We need to see your badge number. Show your badge number. Show us the badge. This is an illegal arrest. Show the badge number.
Okay.
ICE agents will refuse to identify themselves but harass and assault civilians for theirs.
I need to see your badge number.
Step back. Step back.
I don't know who you are. You could be someone kidnapping her.
Okay, we should call the police. Call the police.
Like, look at that little girl. Look at her. Look at
I
her.
need to see your badge number.
Step back. Step back.
I don't know who you are. You could be someone kidnapping her.
Okay, we should call the police. Call the police.
Yeah, and it's just it's a nightmare situation. It is. And nobody wants this. Nobody wants fucking ICE at the airports. Nobody wants the TSA agents who are being unpaid. And then the ICE agents who are being so disgustingly funded to the tune of billions of dollars.
Republican and Democrat. Donald Trump and this administration is...
As soon as you tap on their shoulder to ask them for ID, you get slapped with assault for an officer. Yeah, they'll bring you along. Yeah, they'll beat the shit out of you and arrest you
underwater with their immigration policies. Yes, they like how the border is being handled. They do not like how ICE is in their cities, and they sure won't like how ICE will be in their airports, especially when they're still going to have to wait in line with them there and them being fearful. This is not good politically. This is not good policy, and this is not good politically. That's my free advice. But the reality is, the reason what the Congresswoman was saying is, I think Americans are just like, can we let's take this piecemeal. TSA, pass it. If you obstruct TSA, I will have a problem with you. I don't think anybody on our side would actually obstruct it. Let's fund FEMA. No, we all
Chuck
have.
Schumer.
Would not fund
supported bills. We've got a discharge petition
see the latest
to fund the
episode
other
of the
three.
Pit? Yeah.
And are you
Well,
going to?
give him
I want to
an
give you
opportunity.
one simple issue.
Give him
The
a chance.
Constitution. Do
Chuck
you believe in the
Schumer.
Constitution?
Of course I do.
And warrants? Do you not?
Oh, no. Hold on. No, the warrant issue is completely, that's a red herring because.
No, it's not.
No, yes, it is, ma'am. The Constitution has, these immigration officials, when they're going in these specific things, they're administrative procedures.
Over 400 TSA officers have quit on Sunday. 11% of the 50,000 TSA workers called out sick, which is a new record. So again, if you are traveling right now, the lines at most major airports, just most airports, are going to be pretty bad, especially at the major airports, because TSA workers are not showing up to work because they're not being paid, and because they're hearing or seeing that ICE is just going to come in and do their jobs.
That allow them to go in. They're not going in without authorization. There's administrative, there's law that allows them to do this without a warrant in those instances.
And they're shooting Americans
ICE agents here. Tom Homan, Barack Obama gave Tom Homan an award. Tom Homan is going to run this professionally.
Yeah, and
he's trying to
fuck
help
him
Americans
for that.
Get to where they're doing, eliminate the lines, alleviate American suffering. ICE isn't going to be there. The ICE
But he
in
said he wasn't
Milwaukee.
changing any policy.
So on
No,
this
ICE in
warrant
Milwaukee
issue,
is not
I'll
gonna be
say that I actually voted for a judicial warrant requirement in order to enter homes. I've also voted to say we should have agreements so that ICE is not operating near child care centers or near schools. I think, and I've also supported, by the way, though, making sure that local jurisdictions honor detainer requests when they come for ICE for people who have committed crimes in addition to be in the country illegally. So I think that is the sort of compromise we need around this issue. I think that the things I just listed are supported by the vast majority of Americans. And so we need Congress.
He's like, this is why I am morally and politically superior, because I am on both sides.
To come together to reflect what the American people are asking for.
And if anybody thinks that ICE is going to be with masks and they're going to be they look like.
I am the reasonable centrist here.
Okay, well, show up at DSA tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow.
But listen, this is the thing. It's like, this is also what blew my mind this Sunday morning, is he's like, we haven't figured out the plan. We'll figure it out by tonight. Do you know how many airports are in America?
Yeah, what fugitives are traveling through the airport, and certainly in as frequent of a manner as they are trying to pretend?
Erica, do you know how much
airports we're even going to?
Night trust you, man. Thing with 3 months.
These ICE agents should have before they actually go out. What are we doing?
President Trump has said that if this is not resolved, he's sending ICE to the airports to fill in for TSA. Now, I'm not asking you to comment on the political element of this, but what's the training necessary to do that job effectively? How long does it take? How involved is it?
So to become a TSO, we have to go to FLETC, Federal Law Enforcement Training Camp. That's about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on your program. And then afterwards, you have about 2 additional months of training on the floor. We learn X-ray operations.
He's trying to act like a centrist so he can win in a dem seat.
We learn how to work, our walkthrough, metal detectors. There's a lot of ins and outs of becoming a TSO. Those officers are not trained to do so. They're ICE. They're federal law enforcement in a different spectrum.
And so what's your degree of concern if that is what it comes to, that there will be ICE officers there doing the job of trained TSOs?
I think it's going to be terrible in all retrospects.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Okay, obviously I'm a fuck ICE, abolish ICE. But on paper, what ICE's job is supposed to be, they're not even doing that. They're not even doing the job that they are that is claimed to be what their job title is. Like what it is that why they exist and what they accomplish. So who the hell thinks that ICE, when they can't even do their own job as it is, like on paper, I guess, who thinks that they're going to be able to do these other jobs? They're not.
Because one, the fear mongering, the aggression. They're cops at the end of the day. That's a whole other type of training. We're taught to be more so customer friendly. We're taught to be more so understanding of people's concerns. Law enforcement, that's not their realm.
Yeah, you know what people don't want to feel? People don't want to feel scared all the time. People don't want to feel scared when they're being told that the government is doing these things to keep people safe. That, ooh, we know you're scared because of all these criminals that are coming across the border. So we are doing these things to make you feel safe. Do you know what people can't deny? What the strongest thing is? How they feel, which is why the latest YouGov poll that was polling people on how they feel towards ICE, half of Americans polled said that they support abolishing ICE entirely. And that is the highest figure since YouGov began polling on the question of abolish ICE. People like this is the irony here, is that these fascist border policies, anti-immigration policies that both Republicans and Democrats have leaned into fully has been because they've been successful in tapping into people's anxieties and manipulating those fears and scapegoating immigrants and lying and, and bullshitting all over the place. But what they have done, going so over the top like this, where millions of people saw Americans being shot point blank in the face, they saw little babies being taken, being kidnapped, and held in disgusting concentration camps. They are feeling the anxiety and fear in their own body when they are going through now an airport, when they are sending their kids to school. And I'm not just talking about immigrant families. Like, we're talking about voters that this current political party has been trying to convince they need to support these current actions by ICE and by DHS because that's what keeps them safe. Well, people don't feel safe. They don't feel safe. In fact, they feel unsafe. They feel more anxious. They feel fearful. They don't like the environment that they're currently in.
Ask you, I mean, it's a peculiar question to ask as we're talking about people who are not being paid, but I read that you did this because you wanted to serve your country.
Because people are like, what the fuck does ICE do aside from intimidate people and harass people and beat the shit out of people?
I miss the purpose. I think we've gotten away from the narrative of what we were there for and what TSA was created for.
Thank you for 3 months.
It gave me
Jen
a
Bond,
purpose to put on my badge, to put on my uniform, to be proud to serve my community. And I feel like we've gotten away from that.
But beep, 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 beep. Yeah, look at these TSA lines.
Some of the longest and most frustrating security lines travelers have ever seen are getting longer this morning at some of America's biggest airports.
There's priorities, and this is one of them. This is crazy.
To help, the Trump administration says it's sending in hundreds of ICE agents.
We're simply there to help TSA do their job in areas that don't need their specialized expertise, such as, screening through the X-ray machine. Not training that, we won't do that.
The president is blaming Democrats for not funding the Department of Homeland Security, saying on Monday ICE will be going to airports to help our wonderful TSA agents who have stayed on the job. But Democrats have offered to pay TSA officers in every part of Homeland Security except for ICE and Border Control, and Republicans are rejecting that deal. The president of the union that represents TSA workers says in a statement that putting ICE at airports won't help, writing that putting untrained personnel at security checkpoints does not fill a gap, it creates one. Without a paycheck, TSA workers are making ends meet by calling out and working other jobs. Both of Houston's airports are seeing nearly half their staffs call out. New Orleans, Atlanta, and JFK, all more than 30%. Those call-outs are leading to painful scenes like these.
This is crazy.
Long lines in New Orleans stretching deep into parking garages.
Maybe 2 hours, you kind of lose track.
And this was the line in Atlanta. Travelers reporting wait times of 153 minutes.
It was massive. I've never seen anything like it.
Katrina Terrell got to the airport 3 hours early for her flight out of Atlanta, but couldn't make it through this winding TSA line in time and missed her flight.
Our flight was at 11:10. However, when it's
also, as this keeps going, as this shutdown keeps going, more and more TSA officers aren't going to show up to work, which means that this is going to get just more and more chaotic.
Started getting to 10:45. I said, "Oh, we're not."
And we don't have an effective high-speed train system because of airlines.
It was something that I've never seen before, and I hope I don't see it again.
At Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport, those wait times shot up to nearly 4 hours Sunday. The nation's 60,000 TSA workers haven't received a full paycheck since the partial government shutdown began 38 days ago. They'll get another $0 paycheck at the end of this week.
So how, of course, do you learn how long these lines are if you're not here? That's really difficult right now. The websites that give you that information aren't always trustable. There are frequent flyer groups that people belong to where there are people who are members of those groups on Facebook, for example, giving real-time information and photos. That's helpful. I will tell you the TSA app, that app currently is saying that the wait time here is only 15 to 30 minutes here in Atlanta, which is absolutely not true. But at the top of it, you'll see this little red notice that sort of tells you that this isn't being updated. The best advice for anyone, Robin, of course, is to get here hours ahead, especially if you're flying in peak times. That's when it's the worst.
That is the best advice you can give, Steve. Okay.
Hey, do you have to fly from, I don't know, Los Angeles to San Francisco, a 45-minute flight? Then get to the airport 5 hours early. And you'll spend the entire time waiting in line.
Thank you.
President Trump posted
that is just fucking absurd. This, oh my God. Here is Schumer weekly criticizing TSA ICE stuff.
These lines are only going to get
this is Chuck Schumer, who wants to blow up ICE
longer here as the Easter holiday approaches and spring break. This is a point where you're seeing 3, 4, 5 hours at a time in some of our nation's airports.
I want to talk about SAVE, and Mike, I know you have.
And I just want to say
questions.
This guy, this Trump, he is tying himself in a triple knot all at once. TSA and the airports, the SAVE Act, and the war, which is just going on and on and on and getting worse and worse and worse and causing Americans to pay $4 for gasoline. And you know what? He keeps tightening the knot around himself. Last night he did it twice when he said don't negotiate unless you do TSA and when he sent the ICE to the airports, which is just going to cause... Can you believe how they did that? They first said, we're going to send them and we'll announce the plan later.
Well,
just like the war.
We've been showing this all morning. Republicans that see this are shuddering, that have to run this fall. This is a nightmare for the Republican Party. It's the last thing they want to see. ICE is extremely unpopular. I mean, they were very popular a year and a half ago. With the majority of Americans, they're very unpopular right now. This is a losing situation. They understand it. The other thing is
also, in case it's not clear, Chuck Schumer is not some anti-war hawk. He's doing the classic, the problem is Donald Trump. That's what it is. He has been a hawk on Iran forever. Obviously, he's one of the biggest stalwart supporters of Israel. So he is not a peaceful dove.
SAVE Act, Mike. Let me get a mic.
Yeah, the problem is they're not doing it right. No, it's
and the senator's written about the SAVE Act.
It's the problem is Donald Trump.
But on the SAVE Act, you even have John Fetterman, the Democratic senator from Pennsylvania, who has voted with Republicans an awful lot, saying, "Hey, guys," saying to his Republican friends, "Hey, guys."
His Republican friends.
Voter ID. We get it. 75, 80% of people want voter ID. But if you have a voter ID plan that disallows driver's licenses from 45 states because they're trying to make the re-registering before this fall.
Who's this everybody wants voter ID?
So oppressive that millions and millions and millions of Americans will be wiped from voters' rolls. Even John Fetterman saying, that ain't going to work. You want a driver's license, cool, or a government-issued thing, cool, but This is far too oppressive. This is not about voter ID, Mike.
Let me ask you a question. Could you find your birth certificate?
No, I couldn't.
Could you find your
It's
birth
ridiculous.
certificate today?
And it's required. This is, Trump said it. He said, this is the way I win. He knows he's getting killed
It's
on
to
costs,
bag an election.
It's to bag, it's to cheat
Yeah.
and steal the election in a different way than he did in 2021.
I'd like to ask you a larger question.
But can I say, on this SAVE Act?
Sure.
You can't even use military ID. And here's what happens. Just a minute. I wrote an op-ed.
It's in the New York Times.
Can I show it?
It's a good one, Senator. It's a good one. Of course you can show it.
I hope people will read it.
This is your table,
I haven't
apparently.
seen it here.
How does it look? You want me to find it for you?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Okay.
it.
I didn't run it today.
What? No,
Well, it's on the. They don't run it in the paper till tomorrow. But it's on the.
Here, I'll
it's
pull
on
it
the
up.
website.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it
So
up.
in any case, here's what they do. They demand that every state send DHS. This has nothing to do with voting. Homeland Security. They send them their voter rolls. They have an algorithm set up by Musk and Doge that says who's knocked off the rolls. Okay? Over 20 million people will be knocked off.
He really does love to write his strongly worded letters or
off the rolls.
op-eds.
And these are 99.9% American citizens because, they say it's to prevent illegal immigrants.
There you go.
They say it's to prevent illegal immigrants from voting, how they put it. Untrue. You know what? How many? The Heritage Foundation, this right-wing place, found, I think, only 62 in the last 10 years with 200 million people.
By the way, what's so ridiculous about this is the Wall Street Journal not only wrote an editorial this past week saying, this is a solution for a problem that does not exist.
Yeah.
I remember reading a Wall Street Journal editorial a decade ago, a very conservative outlet, mind you, saying the same thing.
I have such a hard time listening to. I mean, not that these CNN panels are better, but there's something about Morning Joe that just grates.
Republicans are trying to create a solution for a problem that does not exist. The Wall Street Journal editorial page Republican also warns this may disproportionately hurt Republicans in the new political age that we're living in.
I hate all these people. I hate all these panels. I hate all these people.
Senator Katty Kay has a question for you. She, of course, does know where her original birth certificate.
Mika is at least better than most of these bozos.
It is because they keep it in a locked safe.
But she doesn't
hotel
talk as
de
much.
cap,
I know.
where she has the
Caroline
easiest
hates
access
everyone.
to it. Katty.
Look, I mean, I still don't even have an American passport, so I actually would not be allowed to vote, contrary to what Donald Trump seems to think would happen. But no, I would not be allowed to vote. Senator, you've been talking about the things that the president is doing that are tying himself up in knots, where he's been his own worst enemy, sending ICE to airports, the TSA lines, the war in Iran. And yet, when you look at, and this is something I keep getting asked whenever I'm traveling in Europe, when you look at the Democrats' approval ratings, they're pretty much the same as the president's. How do you account for that? You're the Democrats' majority leader.
People are upset in general, but I think the people are understanding, as you've seen in almost every by-election that we've had over the last year, that Democrats are fighting for people on costs, the high cost of health care, the high cost of daycare.
Then why are people upset in general? What is it that they're upset over, Chuck?
The high cost of electricity, the high cost of meat when you go to the grocery store. We're doing that. And so we are fighting them, and people get that, and that's why they're preferring us. The bottom line is, I just have to get back to finish what happens here. So this Musk algorithm kicks you off the rolls. They don't tell you till you show up at the polling place half the time. So Barnacle shows
All
up.
right, whatever. I honestly cannot listen to this.